All right, welcome to today's show. We are joined here by Arica Malone on set of the upcoming musical here in town, and we've got four of how many seniors do you got this year, Erica?
Oh, how many do we have? Seven,
Something like that.
I think.
Well, go ahead and
Seven.
introduce yourselves.
Okay. I'm Jaden Thompson. I'm a senior at Brett High, and I play Meg.
I'm Alyssa Green. I'm a senior, and I play Joe.
I am Kenneth Sterling. I'm also a senior, and I play Amy.
I'm Caden Barker, and I am the fourth senior here, and I play Lori.
All right, now, sorry, first of all, our mic isn't really set up for this. I thought we'd have a good mic for interviews, but so we kind of had to make do with what we got. But Erica, so give us a little background on you and the musical and what all you do here at the school.
Okay. I teach middle school science, which oftentimes when I tell people I'm the director of the musical and I teach science, they go, that's
An odd combination.
But I have been at Liberty for 10 years. Before that, I was an elementary teacher for 13. So I've
Okay.
been doing this for a while. I've been directing the show this is my fourth year to direct the show, and kind of came about it because Rose Bielman, who used to direct the musicals, stepped down, and they needed somebody to fill her spot. So administration kind of approached me, and I think Rose kind of threw my name in the hat as well and said, hey, are you interested in doing this? And it scared the bejesus out of me.
Did you have some background in doing musicals?
I do. I was in theater all through growing up, middle school, high school, and into college. So I'd been in several productions, musicals and plays. So I felt like I had experience in that way, but I did not.
It's a different beast when you're in
It's-
charge of it.
It's totally different. I don't really. Yeah, that whole being in charge stuff is really hard.
I'll bet so. So,
Making schedules and thinking of the whole big picture and
yeah.
yeah,
And
it's really hard.
speaking of big picture, the set here is pretty impressive. And there's
Thanks.
been some upgrades to the auditorium. Was it this
Yes.
year or here in the last couple years? What all have you guys done that
Well,
have really made it a better experience for everybody?
yeah, this year we have all new LED lighting on the stage. So that's what's on right now. Helps cut down on energy costs, and we have a lot of more flexibility with colors. In the previous years, we would have to put these things called gels on the front if we wanted a yellow or a red or a blue, and we don't have to do that anymore. We
Nice.
get any color we want.
I know you're the lighting person since she's off
Yes.
camera, but she was really excited about the lights here.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Liz, that's nice.
She's having super fun. Maybe she can show off the lightning here in a minute. And then I think it's been about 4 years. We updated what's called the cyc curtain, cyclorama, and the cyc lights that show on that curtain. We updated the sound, got a new light board. So it's been 4 or 5 years in the process of getting some new things.
Yeah. Well, now, you guys started practicing for this musical. What is the musical you guys are doing this year for anybody that
It's
doesn't know yet?
Little Women.
Little Women. How do you choose that?
I look
Do
at
these guys get an input, or how do you guys get a chance to say, yeah, we want to do this, and then oh dang it, you picked that? Anybody?
Be honest.
We get some input. We're very anxious this year to see what it is, just because it is our senior musical, and we have done this right along with Miss Malone for 4 years here, and some of us longer. But we do get some say in it, and so we were excited about this year's pick.
How soon do you pick a musical? Sorry, Jaden.
Oh, no, it's okay.
When do you decide from, like, say when last year's play
Yeah.
gets done?
Yeah.
How soon is it before you, or do you know before that? Like,
No,
you got them
no.
planned years in advance, or is it a pretty? What are we gonna do this year?
Yeah.
Honestly, like a month before auditions, we're still like, are we sure? Do we know this is what we're going to do?
Yeah.
Caden was not happy about this musical at first because it's called Little Women, and his first thing was, there's no male parts. I'm not going to have any part in the show. He was so mad, but you can talk about that.
Yeah, let's hear about that, Caden.
Well, yeah, I was a little angry. I went to a senior group chat and was not very happy about it. But then I read into it, and I learned the story a little more, and I ended up like, okay, this will be cool. This will be all right.
And I feel like one of the coolest parts about this musical this year is like all our characters portray our personalities, like certain parts of our personalities, like times 10.
Well,
So
you
it
even
just-
said that on the way in, Kenny. You guys were kind of all dressed like your characters
yes,
today.
It just kind of works like that. So it's pretty neat.
Well,
So when I start researching the moment the the previous one is over because it takes me a really long time to watch other musicals and look through what's required costume wise, what's required set wise, characters, and it takes me a really long time. And I know you guys don't ever see that process, but they think I just
Just pull
probably
something
just pick
off
one,
the internet and
pick one
download it.
willy-nilly. But
and-
I do spend a ton of time looking at different things, and I take in consideration our talents, who we have. I really like to showcase our dancers because we have lots of dancers. This musical didn't lend itself to that, but it did lend itself to being able to involve multiple of our leadership and let them shine with solos. You don't find that very often in musicals. A lot of times they might be two female leads that get to sing, and the rest of them are just chorus parts. But in this show, and with Sister Act as well, each of these people had solos and got to be on stage kind of by themselves, and this one's the same way. So
When you
look into
pick a
all of
play
that.
like that, do you get any artistic freedom with the script or the roles, or do you have to do it,
Yep.
or are
part
you
of the-
supposed to do it, kind
Right.
of by the script that
Yeah.
any other school would do the same play?
part of the contract is that
Oh,
you don't
so
change
there it is, a
anything.
contract and everything to it. I did not know that.
Yeah. We have to apply for a license, pay for the license.
Okay.
Pay for the
so you can't just throw a
performances.
male part into Little Women because Caden wants to.
Right. He gets to shine. He gets a lot in this one.
What when you have a play that calls for X amount of roles and you've got more kids than that are in musical, like are there tryouts or do you have to make
Yes.
cuts? Or are you how does that work? I always think of things in sports terms. If you got 11 starters in football, there's only 11 starters.
Right.
Is the play the same way or a
Yeah.
musical the same way that there's only so many roles and we've got too many kids to fill them?
Yeah. The directors have to make some tough decisions when we cast the show. So we have a lot more leadership that kind of have minor roles this year. But there is an audition, and I don't know. Would you say it's competitive? I don't know. If it's
I feel like one thing I will say, definitely when we go into the audition, like the week, we have 2 days that you pick out of. Just seeing everybody getting up on stage and like everybody has to sing so that they know what we can do because there's some diamond in the roughs like you don't know about. Which
like.
we have found a couple this year, like Adam Uni,
Uh-huh.
who's one of our main leads. So
And he's never done it before.
Really?
It's cool to just see like everybody get on stage, everybody supporting each other. But you can definitely tell like we're all stressed about it. We all know that there's only a certain amount of roles and you can only do so much. And we're very female heavy. That's why we keep doing a lot of women role shows. But yeah. Okay.
Anybody else on anything there?
Caden does his best to recruit, which I think you recruited Adam.
Yes.
I was going to ask
Yes.
about that. How do you go out and get kids? Because sometimes, musicals, to me, it seems like you're either a musical type of person or you're not. But how do
Yeah.
you, if you see a kid in the
Peer
hallways, is that
It
is that what it
is.
is?
It's-
Just a lot of peer pressure?
Go through their parents.
Yeah.
So I got Easton Rector to do it one year.
Yeah?
I just went through his mom, and she made him do it.
There you go.
So, yeah.
Now, so how do you start that process, though, earlier than once they get into high school, getting middle school kids and, involved in kind of like, hey, we want to do this?
Yeah. There is a middle school play, so some of our middle schoolers have an opportunity to audition for that one. They don't sing, but gives them an opportunity to be on stage and see what they can do. They can kind of start there if they want, but they also can audition for the high school show as well. We don't normally take anyone less than or younger than 6th grade.
Okay.
Just because it's a lot of commitment and their parents have to be involved if they're that young with getting them to rehearsals and
Yeah.
Picking
I asked you
them up
that
and-
the other
oh,
day.
yeah.
When do you guys start practicing for a musical? How long have you guys been going for this one?
this is week 6, so we started July 18th, which
A-
is usually about the time we
and
start
it's pretty-
in summer.
You guys are multiple nights a week. I mean, you guys
Oh,
are
yeah.
going.
Every night.
Yeah.
Yeah, and during the summer it's all day.
Yeah. How does that? How do you guys like that? I know as an employer, sometimes it's hard to get you guys hours.
No, it's awesome. So like people I hate that some people are just like, oh, I don't want to go because it's like such long rehearsals. But like when we have like our friends surrounded by us, like Miss Malone's like, oh, like you're done. I'm like, no, I'd stay because
I
it's
know.
just fun to watch and just like get to see everything like progress slowly. So it's awesome.
I had to kick them out of the auditorium the other night because they wanted to stay and sing and dance and run numbers, and it was 10 o'clock, and I'm like, guys, we got to go.
Oh, that's good though. That
It
that
is.
it's,
It's so
fun
fun.
enough that they're not just ready to get out of here as soon as you're ready to roll.
Yeah. And this group is a bit different in that respect. They all love each other. They all hang out. They have a chemistry that honestly is not going to happen again.
Really?
I mean, yeah, like you don't come across this type of group, this type of talent, and like I said, the chemistry that they have once every 10 years probably. So I'm trying to really slow down and trying not to focus on all the stuff that is really stressing me out right now,
Yeah.
and just focus on the fact that
I think you're right. I think you're going to get some tears out of her.
this won't
And
happen
I was
again.
going to ask you too, because you had mentioned it too, that this is your group of seniors. They started the year you took over as
Yeah.
freshmen, and cue the tears, right? Well, how big a role is that? These are the ones you started with.
Yeah.
Now they're seniors, and they're going to be
Yeah.
going on after this. This class probably holds a special place, kind of in your heart.
Absolutely. Yeah. They trusted me when I took over. Well, I don't know if you did. Did you trust me? To jump in and lead them through the last 4 shows, and this is not what my education is. I'm just an elementary / science teacher, so it's not like I was trained in theater and know how to use all the techie terms. And Mrs. Britton has done a fabulous job this year of getting more out of them in terms of questioning them about their character and about their motivation, and that's not a strength of mine at all. So we really work well together as a team, and it's going to be hard.
Jaden looks
It's
like
gonna
she's
be
got
hard.
something to go here.
I
at the end.
definitely think having her in 8th grade as our science teacher definitely helped, because we already were comfortable with you. We did so many weird projects, Kenna and I. This is so embarrassing to look back on. But I think us going into it, I had been in shows with you before
Sure,
with Miss Bielman, so we knew she knew about musicals. She'd told us about her time at Sterling and in college and stuff. So I think that definitely helped, and we just were already really comfortable with her, so we were gonna trust her no matter what, I think.
Now, speaking of embarrassing, you guys were talking about it before we got going here, and it was one of my questions. I didn't know if you guys would open up to it and be honest, but I'm curious, and throughout the process of a play or learning the script, what are some of the embarrassing moments that have stood out? Or if you want to share them, you don't have to share them, but you guys are. Anybody want to go?
We'll go, yeah.
I think this was, when did we do songs for a New World? Sophomore?
Sophomores, yeah.
Yeah, I voice cracked at the end of my song, and I will
Still one
never-
you remember?
I'll never forget that.
So mine, we were doing our read through for last year's musical Sister Act, and this all capital phrase of mine was next, and I just started screaming because I thought it was yelling and it was a song. So it was pretty embarrassing, but
Yeah, so in a script,
It's
you'll have
hilarious.
regular font that is what your lines are, and then when a song comes up, it's all in capital letters.
So was that did you have to scream it, or was it just a typo?
No,
it
it's
was
just
a
a
song,
song.
and
Oh.
She was supposed to sing it.
there was only 2 lines, so I was like, oh, maybe it's just yelling. It was not. It was not.
Read-throughs are always a fun time. Show weeks are really rough, and I'd say I get very exhausted, which last year was pretty rough for me. Dress rehearsal, that's one of my embarrassing ones. I cried a lot on stage during dress rehearsal, so yep.
Okay, mine's kind of TMI, but if anyone knows me, they know I have a very small bladder. I always have to pee. And it's all the time, and especially when I'm nervous, and I'm pretty sure I don't know if it was dress rehearsal the night before or the morning of. I went to the bathroom back there, and my mic was still on. And when I came back on stage, everyone was like, Jaden, we just heard you pee. And I was like, you're kidding. And ever since, oh my God.
That one's tough to beat.
I can't go to the bathroom without fear.
That's good. What most memorable moment for some of you seniors? I mean, other than the embarrassing ones, what are some of the moments you'll take away, after you guys are done with this play? And we still got one in, but, the ones you look back on. Anybody got one that comes to mind?
Songs for a New World sophomore year was a musical review, so there wasn't acting in it. It was all music, and that was because of COVID, having more spaced out rehearsals and things. That was an accommodation we had to make. And that show as a whole, I think, ended up being more meaningful than any of us expected it to be. And it was really it was powerful because we were telling these stories through just our voice, and it was just this meaningful time of changing and like learning something new. And I know, like, for me, just a meaningful moment, just standing on a swing set, like belting my heart out, was just like my favorite thing to do. And I don't know, I think we all really loved that show.
I think the thing that I remember the most memorable moment for me was actually my freshman year when I started the whole thing. I was kind of new to it, and I did it with a couple friends just because it was my freshman year and I wanted to try something new. And, well, now I'm here.
Yeah. The whole thing is awesome, and that I also started my freshman year, so that was a big year for me. And then it's definitely, like, musical's awesome, but it's like like Miss Malone said, we have such a tight bond. It's like we go to Sonic, and like literally 2 weeks ago, we literally sang our songs outside of Sonic because we love it so much. And those were, yeah.
I think just all in all, it's just cool to see that, especially in like a small town like Pratt. We all do sports. We all have so many other activities, and everybody finds a way to make it all work, I guess. All the coaches, all the teachers, all the club directors, everything, they all find a way to make sure that we have like this moment for us. And it does make us a lot tighter because these are really late nights and really very hard times, I guess. It's a lot of stress, and we just want to put on a great show for the community. So I think just all the extra bonding times. And like she said, when we went to Sonic, we were there for hours talking about so many. We were crying, we were laughing, we were mad. It was just, yeah, it's constant all the time type of bonding, I guess.
Jaden was talked a little bit about the community there, and just how important does the community play? Or how big a thanks do you give them when all this is done? Like you said, all the time commitment it takes from the kids and just
Right.
people coming out and watching,
Yes.
and donations to make purchases and things like that.
Yes.
How big a role does the Pratt community play in what you guys do here?
Huge, unmeasurable. Attendance, support of these kids, no matter what they're doing, actually, through sports or through theater or through the music, going to Carnegie, and we couldn't do it without community support. And this is the only place I've ever taught. And so, I mean, I've lived in other communities, but this is the only place I've ever taught. So I don't know and I've heard that this community is a little bit unique in that.
I've heard, I've lived here my whole life, so I don't have anything to compare it to.
Uh-huh.
But I've heard that too from other teachers or coaches that come in and are here for a while. They're like, "This Pratt's different than any of the other places we've been." So it's always nice and neat to hear when people like you have moved here say the same thing.
Yeah, it's a special place, and we do have a lot of support in all aspects.
What any game day sports reference here, but any game day superstitions that the day of the play that are a little odd, or just something like, "Ooh, I can't get to go to Sonic and get a raspberry Dr. Pepper each time," or something, anything like that?
So every Friday morning, it's for our high school show, which is definitely the most terrifying one because it's one thing. The community is so supportive, and they'll always clap and cheer and laugh, but high schoolers are difficult. they're hard to make laugh, so they're pretty judgy, but it's still fun. But every morning, what time do we get up?
4
Like,
or 5.
oh yeah,
Wow.
we have to get up so early, warm up our voices. We have to do
talking.
that. Yes, talking. So we'll call each other that morning.
None of you sound like you have any trouble talking.
No.
It gets difficult at 4 a.m.
Yeah, and then we go to the Donut Palace at what time?
Early.
Like 6, 7, and then we come here and eat them all. Yeah, and then we come here and eat them, and we do that every Friday morning. So that's one thing.
My thing is, I choose a parking spot at the beginning of rehearsal, and I park there every single time. And if I don't park there, I feel like I'm gonna mess up.
Uh-oh.
So
I didn't know that.
I've asked my brother to move because he parked in my spot one time.
And he probably did it on purpose.
He probably did. But I asked him to move so I could park there, so I can nail my stuff.
That's good. Anybody else with some odd ones?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think I do.
What you guys are on you're going out. What do you have to say, or your message to any new kids coming in? Either 8th graders coming into freshmen, or 5th to 6th, or just kind of that, hey, this was our experience. You guys should really try this and soak it all in while you're there.
Yes, definitely that. I think always try new things because you never know where you're going to find your niche, and there's so many different opportunities here to do that with. And definitely just put yourself out there. There's a lot of people in the community who you make ties with, and later in life, it's all going to come back. So definitely that.
For one, I came from Wichita before I moved here my freshman year, and it's completely different. Obviously, it's completely different. And being in Pratt, you have the opportunity to do everything. I mean, even just starting rehearsals in July, the whole reason we do our show so early is because it doesn't conflict with sports. So you can be a lead in the musical and play football. You can do all of these things. And that's an opportunity you do not get in other communities. And I think it's really important, especially young, to take advantage of that and do as many things as you can. And then you don't have to keep doing them, but always try it once. And theater it really improves your communication skills. It improves everything. And it's a really powerful thing. And it obviously makes bonds between people. So
I was going to ask that too, just kind of what do you learn throughout the course of doing theater that, you'll take on to your college and profession, like you said, communication or things like that? What are some things that you learn through theater that are going to carry with you?
Yeah, so definitely communication, and a big one is stage presence, obviously. Like, you have to do well under pressure, and that's something you're going to need a lot later. And then a big one, I feel, is, like, the time commitment. Like, it's on us if we know our lines or not. Like, she can't do it for us, so that's a big thing too, is like knowing what you have to prioritize and get it done. So
I learned that standing out and doing something different than everybody else is okay. And
I like that.
yeah, so that was a big one for me.
Good. These guys are great.
I know, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think, well, we've done it longer. I think we kind of like pulled you guys in
Yeah.
freshman year, definitely, because I was like, we need more people to do this. Bielman's gone. No, like, it was weird. And I think doing it like over that much time, I definitely was like more comfortable. But then seeing like new people come in and they just like, I don't know, it's just like a current. Like, they just get it. And it's just like Adam. He just gets it. He literally wants to be here 24/7.
He's actually
he
angry
said
when he's
the
not
other
on the
day,
schedule.
he said, if this is what theater is, it's kind of easy. And I thought that
Oh,
was
dear.
funny, but because it's not. But he's just very naturally good at it. And that's one thing. Like, even if you get more technical, like with acting, it's about understanding reactions to people, understanding like social skills. And so it really does improve upon that, because to be able to act, you have to understand what your character's doing, why it's saying the things it's doing. And that's one thing Miss Britton has attacked us with this year. Why do you say this? Why are you doing this? And so that's really good. And I think that's something you really learn.
Yeah.
Erica, I'm running out of lists here. I've kind of got through my list. You've got a big long list
Oh,
there
no,
of things
those are
written
just
down.
answers to your questions.
Okay. Yeah, I did give her a cheat sheet there, so she kind of knew some of the ones that might be coming. But is there anything that you'd like to add, or as we finish up with these guys? I think my last question was, when the final curtain closes, what's the kind of one overwhelming sense of, like, what's the emotion when the last show on Sunday's done? All that hard work you've put in is come to fruition. What is it? Relief? Is it?
Yes.
Oh, thank God. Or is it sad? What do you feel on that last show?
Usually it's overwhelming relief. But this year it's going to be hard. I'm going to be a mess. I think
Well,
we're
we
all
didn't
gonna
mean
be
to
a
make you
mess.
cry today. Gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it'll be the last time
Yeah.
for. Some of them might go on and do other things in college and
Right.
be on stage, but it'll be the last time to be here. Maybe we'll have to do a reunion show or something.
I think that, like, when the curtain, when it's the lights shut off and it's time to leave and everyone's copying, I don't know. I just always sigh. I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe we just like. But this year I don't really want that to happen, because normally it's like, thank goodness it's over, because
Yeah.
it's so much time, it's so much work, and it's like finally we did it. We may have had some bumps in the road, but we got through it. We found a way, and now it's time to go greet some little old ladies and our family members. And it's like, just thank goodness that we got through this. But this year is definitely going to be a lot harder. Definitely a lot more tears shed. They're already tearing up about it.
I think none of us are going to want it to end. And, I mean, it's about the 4 March sisters, and then we introduce our brother into the show, and we really have gotten so close. Just this show and, like, encompassing, like, our 4 years together, this one is, like, such a close bond between us on stage and off stage that it's really cool to get to show that bond on stage. And I think all of us are trying to not talk about the Sunday show, because it's going to be a really emotional one, and we don't want it to end because it's really sad.
Yeah.
I'll cry.
Pretty much what they said.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I want to thank you guys for coming and doing this. This was great. Like I
fun.
said, it was fun to come here on set and do it
Yeah.
and kind of show off what you guys have done. You mentioned the other day you built a rotating,
Yes. So
or
this
you had
is,
Jeff build it for you.
yeah.
Is what it sounds
Jeff
like.
and
so.
Clay Wilson worked really hard on the set this year. There's an ice skating scene, and the script doesn't say that you have to have ice skaters on stage. You can add them as chorus members, and traditionally we have big shows in Pratt or at Pratt High. We try to incorporate many people to give them the experience and have more of a community feel. And so we decided, even with this show, we wanted to add more chorus. So we have a group of ice skaters that comes out in one. Should I tell them? Okay.
Spoiler
is a
alert.
secret. I
Maybe we
know,
don't
right,
want to.
spoilers.
Maybe we should save the.
Anyway, well, that was the impetus. That was the launching off point of, hey, let's build a rotating stage. So yes, there's 71 casters underneath here.
Wow.
And
It's like a big fidget spinner.
Yeah. Yeah. And it rotates. This is the attic setup, and then it rotates into the parlor setup for the March House, and the ice skaters skate on it. So, yeah, that's the engineering feat of this show. I
Nice,
guess.
nice. All right. Well, any special thanks before we?
Thank you.
Send off
This
or
is
anything?
fun.
Anybody
We've
out
never
there
done
that-
anything like this before.
No,
for a
I
show,
feel
so
like we
this
need to
is
do
fun.
some more stuff like this. This is fun coming
Yeah.
on set and we did it with Coach Holting last week down in the weight room to show it
Oh,
off,
yeah.
and yeah, it's kind of fun so everybody can see,
Right.
what you guys have been up to and get excited for the show. So give us the times and dates for the show before we go. Where?
The public performances are September 10th
Okay.
at 7:30, September 11th at 2. So that's a Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
We do another performance in the morning, which is what they were talking about with going to eat donuts. We do one early in the morning at 9, but that's traditionally just for the high school students.
Okay.
So
All right.
we
Well,
do 3 shows, but
best of luck, and I'm
Thank you.
excited for it. You guys have been
Thanks.
working really hard,
We
and
have.
it looks like you got a great group of seniors. They're not all here,
For sure.
but who are the other seniors before we
we're
get 'em
missing
going?
Colby Gordon, Adam Uni, Jenna Haas.
I feel like that's it.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
Okay.
I put you on the spot now.
I
If you
know.
forget one, you're going to be in trouble.
I am.
Oh, that was my fault. If she forgot one, I put her on the spot there. So apologies. No, again, Erica, guys, girls, thanks for coming in. This was fun. You guys did great. You were nervous beforehand, saying, how are we going to go straight through without no cuts? And I told you you'd do fine. So, all right, well, September 10th?
10th and
10th
11th.
and 11th. Down here at Liberty Middle School Auditorium, and come see what these guys have been working hard for. And that's going to do it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.